What's up, everybody? Soul here with another Final Fantasy Tactics Ivalice Chronicles video, and I want to go over some jobs that I used to beat this game. It absolutely carried me all the way, and so let's go ahead and take a look at our fantastic army of soldiers in place. Of course, I'm going to start out with our boy Ramza. Everybody has him, everybody uses him. He is the best at anything and everything in the game. And in general, I use Ramza as his squire with that draw out ability. As you can see, I'm rolling that Excalibur. I did not really use the unique characters. I just stuck with the generic for the most part. And yeah, Ramza's rocking that metal. We got Aido for that draw out, Shara Hadori for that reaction. JP boost is what I got him on right now because I was trying to build some stuff and trying to get some more JP, but magic boost is what is best on him, and then that movement +3. Now, of course, we got that Excalibur. What is actually best in slot is that Materia Blade Plus, so feel free to slap that on him if that's what you like, but I enjoyed the haste, and I used it in the final battles. Aegis for that extra magic attack. Hairband is what I used for those immunities. Ribbon is better than Hairband. Wizard's Robe for that extra magic attack. I'm not worried about him having too much HP and so on. This did a fantastic job. And of course, the overpowered Chantage. This is something you can steal in the game. Make sure you check out my video on that. You can go steal from all the missable items and so on and so forth. But yeah, this, the regen re-raise, Rom just never dies. He just always gets back up. He's free to act and play. Make sure that accessory does not get broken though. Moving on, next we have Rioite, and so Rio right here is my ninja. He was the guy that did all the stealing and so on forth for me, and it was a ton of fun. Now, bear in mind, you notice he's got a movement +1 down here. This is not final build. This is not him in his perfect form. This is me just clearing the game, and so if you want to do better with that, by all means, make sure you go after that Bard +3 movement, or even that Thief +2. But on him, of course, we're rock and throw. We utilize steal, reflexes, that way we get that fantastic dodge on his reactions. Brawler, because yes, barehanded ninjas, absolutely smack. And then of course that movement, we're using that movement +1. This, it can be switched out. You can use water walking, use what you want. That's what I have on him. And then of course we want to try to get as much speed as possible. That Thief's Cap is what we end up having on him by the time we beat the game. The power garb, because we want that extra physical attack. And then we absolutely want that Featherweave Cloak. Love those evasion rates. He is absolutely bonkers. Make sure you go check it out in my playthrough videos. Rio absolutely destroyed quite a bit of our enemies and content. He just rolled over them. He just is so good, so useful. That speed is unbelievable. Look at that speed of 14. Ramza's 9. His speed is 14. Moving over to Mr. Mustachio. He is our all-rounder. He did everything. He was a hoss. He tanked. He did some decent damage at range, debuffing, aiding, support, picking our people up, you name it. He was there for everything. I depended on Mr. Mustachio so much in his monk form. And so there you are. He's got his martial arts, Geomancer as his secondary, Shia Hadori as his reaction, equip heavy armor from Knight, and then once again we got movement +1 on him. It actually needs to be movement +2, movement +3 if you can with that Bard, but regardless, remember these guys are not in their final form. That's what I had on him, is that movement +2. Absolutely love it. And then of course over here, diamond helmets, what it shows I have better helmets. I saved this set a long time ago, the combat set, so it's a little outdated, but this is still him in his general. You get it, what I mean. Power Garb, of course, coming in because I love that extra damage. And then the Germanus boots for the extra move and jump. You can always switch this out for whatever you prefer. I like the extra move and jump. Remember, he's a support unit for me. He did a lot of tanking, did a lot of backing up, healing, providing MP, reviving, you name it, and then making sure he gets that great poke in with that Geomancer. I want to be on the right tiles. Movement for him was huge. So Mr. Mustachio, look at that Hoss HP, 473. Man, he was insane, absolutely pivotal you want a monk at all times in your group, and this is the guy. He was my glue. He made sure everything worked out for me. Next is Pouty. Now Pouty came in a big way in my run. I ran her as a Mystic Arts main. Of course, that is your Mystic. You absolutely love it. You want it. You want your Mystic all day long. But anyways, Mystic, White Magic as her secondary for that White Mage. Auto Potion, so good. So good. I kept it on her through the whole game. Admittedly, there were points when I wanted to switch it out, and I started thinking about maybe it's time. I just kept it on, and it ended up being a blessing the whole way through. But yeah, fantastic. Her bravery is a little bit low for it, but it's not terrible. I actually should have got it back up. And yeah, long story boring, Auto Potion was phenomenal. I used Defense Boost on her because she often got targeted. Units would just run at her and try to get at her as best as possible, and I liked her to get in and up front and to do some melee damage. And so I ran that Defense Boost on her, and I quickly realized units weren't so keen on targeting her all the time. They kind of started wandering off and going towards other targets. So really interesting stuff. And then I used that teleport on her because I wanted that good mobility and versatility, though I will tell you, it's a little bit frustrating at times. Doesn't work out perfectly, but it was nice all the same. Monofont, of course, is a great secondary option. She was my treasure hunter, which is why her bravery got low, but I switched that out and started utilizing someone else. And yeah, long story boring, she is fantastic. Should have got her bravery up. But we used that 8-sided flute for the damage. We had that gold hairpin because we want as much at MP as possible. And then we had that white robe because we want to have that defense. Make sure we half that fire, ice, and lightning magic. And then that featherweave cloak. Those cloaks are so good, guys. I know a lot of people don't utilize them. I absolutely love them. They create so many opportunities for evasion, especially on your squishy units. I highly recommend you run it. Next is Question. Question, of course, Question Wake Up in full name, was our Black Mage. Absolutely devastating. Destroyed everything that moved. Was absolutely phenomenal. Also ran that Time Magic as a secondary. Mana Shield, because we want to make sure that we're able to do our best to survive any and all hits. Question was extra squishy, so this really saved us and helped us out. It's on JP Boost because I was trying to learn some stuff. Magic Boost is the prime choice right there with that support ability, and then Monofont to make sure we have that MP up at all times. Just a little jaunt or a walk, and suddenly we got magic again, enough to cast those simple fire spells, tier 1 spells, tier 2, you name it. It's absolutely important. You only need 1 mana in order to shake off or shrug off a hit. Her bravery's at 71. It's not too bad. It worked pretty often. I would recommend getting your bravery higher so you make sure that Mana Shield procs, but there's also some benefit to it not procking all the time, so I was pretty happy at 71 personally. Now, as far as equipment, I use that Wizard's Rod because it has that +2 magic attack. If you like to run one element, I'd highly recommend you run that Elemental Rod. However, I was very happy with Wizard's Rod once I got access to it, that and Black Robe, because Black Robe does the same thing as all the Elemental Rods, but in one item and piece, so that's what I highly suggest you to run once you get access to it. And then we had that Celebrant's Mitre on them. This is actually not a bad item at all. If you get access to the Lambent Hat and you prefer that for the speed and the magic attack, there's nothing wrong with that. I went with this because I wanted more MP all day long. That was a really big deal for me. 5 MP might not seem like a lot, but it all adds up in the end. And then of course that Mage Power Glove is what I was running on them because I want that extra magic attack. I want it to be as high as possible. And as you can see, Question has 19 magic attack. Absolutely bonkers. So really good stuff. Question requires a little bit of protection, but absolutely destroys and smacks stuff once they are rolling. Gotta love it. Next is Yoda Envy. Yoda Envy absolutely killed it for me. Once I got Yoda up and running, Yoda was my treasure hunter. As you can see, is what they are running on their bar. Using that Speechcraft. Item second. We got that Auto Potion, which I've already talked about how great that is. We utilize Throw Item because we want to be able to cast those items far, even though we're not on Chemist. However, if you're interested, you can switch it out and do Safeguard. You can run Chemist with the equipped gun. It's up to you. I really enjoyed having an Orator and using throw item on them. So that's what Yoda did. And then of course we got that treasure hunter right there. Definitely very, very good. Kept it on him most of the time. Now you can easily swap this out once you're not treasure hunting, and I would suggest you to do so. What do you put on instead? Now that's a tough one. It's up to you. Move +2 off thief is a great option. Levitate, also a great option. Ignore height is probably one of your best choices, but treasure hunter is what I kept on them. Remember, this is not final build, but this is what got me through the game, and Yoda Envy was a huge part in that, absolutely carrying me at times. You always want to have someone in your team that can use items. I found myself wanting to use Yoda all the time, especially when I got access to the glacial gun. Yoda with the glacial gun just destroys stuff, absolutely smacks. Casting Blizzard, Blizzara, and Blizzaga from a shot that cannot be dodged is so powerful. And of course we're running that Lambent hat with it because we want Yoda to have the speed and magic attack. That magic attack does benefit Orator as well as that spell damage. Running that black robe for boosting that spell damage off of that gun, which absolutely works. I've tested it and checked it out, and it was phenomenal. And then of course we're running the Germanus boots for that extra jump and move on them. Now another good choice is the red shoes for that magic attack and move. It's up to you. You can put whatever you want on there, but that's how I ran with my Orator being Yoda. Fantastic unit. Of course her bravery is low. She is my treasure hunter. And then that faith is moderate. I was happy with 78. Do what you want on that. I think that's secondary in some ways, especially on your Orator. Your bravery being low is really, really important for your treasure hunter. Outside of that, just do what you want. Orator, Yoda Envy, phenomenal unit. Next is Kairos. Kairos joined late in the game, but we had a ton of fun regardless. Of course, Kairos, we've got that aim, utilizing the archer abilities, and then Bard, singing those songs, making sure that we're keeping everybody buffed, proccing everybody's speed, getting it higher, physical attack, HP, MP back, you name it, AoE every turn. It's really, really nice and handy. And then when they're not singing about it, they're dealing damage. Couple turns singing, raising speed, go out of that and then go and start doing some damage, getting extra damage out of your archery or your, ranged attacks based on that speed buff is really, really big. As you can see, his speed is pretty strong at 11, but it gets kind of bonkers as he's singing about it, and he just gets better and better. Another good thing about Bard is you're picking up that fly. That fly is really big, allows him to just get where he needs to be, get positioned correctly, up high, nicely, with no effort, and to pick off those enemies. Now, as you can see, I've got JP boost on him right here. That's not what I'd keep on him normally. Concentrate is what I'm running normally, but I am trying to learn some things and get enough JP to finalize everything, so that's why I had that JP boost on him. JP boost, I'm sure you already know, so important for everybody. Concentrate's his best bet because he absolutely lands all his attacks and smacks, and it's so good. And then speed surge, you can't say enough good about it. I mean, this, you get smacked, you get hit, or whatever, it procs his speed surge with the bravery being high enough. So good. Absolutely love it. Remember, the more speed he has, the more damage he does as an archer. So, it's with those bows in particular is what I mean to say. And so, Artemis bow is what we're running on him for the main hand. Thief's cap with that second, or that helmet, because we want that extra speed. And then power garb for, the physical attack. You can really switch this out to whatever you want. It's up to you. And then we're running the Hermes shoes for that speed there as well. Absolutely love it. Really good stuff. This is not final build, as I said, but really fun unit right here. Getting some nice range attacks in and then singing some songs along the way. Next is For the Lols Bro. For the Lols Bro is my Geomancer / Dancer. As you can see, Geomancer and then Dancer secondary. We're rocking that speed surge. Got that magic attack boost for that enhanced geomancy damage. And then of course that fly for the great mobility and utility that it has. Let me tell you something. For the Lols, having a Geomancer Dancer, it just finished. It was the cherry topper. They joined late in the game, but once I had access to this Wombo combo, I couldn't stop. I had to run For the Lols all the time. All the time. I absolutely loved it. I had a blast with it, dancing and debuffing your enemies from afar, and then switching off and running up in on them. On Geomancer, doing extra debuffs and very significant decent damage is phenomenal. Now you can raise your faith higher if you want. You want your bravery to be somewhat decent for that procs on the reaction, speed surge and whatnot, but it's really up to you. For Lols did the perfect job right there mid-table on bravery and faith. I didn't really have to mess with it. Running equipment on for the Lols, I had that Rune Blade for that magic attack power, Aegis Shield for that magic attack power, Lambent Hat for the speed and magic attack power, Wizard's Robe for that magic attack power, and of course the red shoes for movement and magic attack power. Kind of catch the theme there. We want a lot of a magic attack power, right? And so it's absolutely important you have that magic attack power. It benefits in several ways, and yeah, that Geomancer is looking nice with it. Of course, For Lols has 17 magic attack power, and it is so good. Can't say enough about this job combo. Ton of fun. Wanted to have it in the team all the time, and honestly, it feels like a perma slot for me. One of the strongest combos, strongest characters you can have. You're gonna always want this job combo in your team once you experience it. I can't say enough about it. Like, this is top tier stuff right here. Next is Polish Valsian. Polish Valsian is coming in as our Holy Lancer. I really wanted to have a Holy Diver, a white mage with that Holy Lance dealing magical damage. It didn't work out, unfortunately. So I played with a lot of things, and this is now kind of a flex unit for me. I can rotate and do what I want, change it out, you name it. What I found myself utilizing Polish for, and this is not captured in the playthrough as much as the other units, make sure you go check that out. But of course the jumps are phenomenal, but that white magic secondary, having it given us some options, is pretty good, pretty significant and great. I used a lot of white magic, but I enjoyed switching it up and using those Arts of War with that concentrate on them. Having a little bit of range to do it was really, really nice. I was hoping to proc Holy Lance while breaking and rending, but it didn't work out. It did not proc one time, so I'm pretty confident it just is not an option. However, Shia Hidori's reaction made sure that they'd stay safe, so that you can kind of change their equipment and go some weaker options. You don't have to worry about them trying to absorb too many hits, physically that is. And then of course that movement +2, because we want them to have good mobility and range and everything you do. And of course that concentrate, like I said, guarantees those hits. Really, really important stuff, good stuff. Holy Lance is a lot of fun. As you can see, we built Polish to do magic damage along with physical damage, so they're like a joint hitter. It's really nice when you get that proc on that Holy Lance and Holy is casted, and for that reason we've got that Aegis Shield for the extra magic attack, Crystal Helmet, which of course you can put other things on there like Genji Helm's better and so on, Wizard's Robe for that extra magic attack, and then Genji Glove because it gives bonus to physical attack and magic attack. Really, like I said, is a hybrid unit as far as the damage. You have lots of versatility and options. And with Polish, if I need an extra healer but want to damage, I'd bring that white magic and then would jump all around, smack with that Holy Lance, have white magic to raise, cure, you name it. And then if that wasn't the case and I just wanted somebody to come in and rend break things, jump at really long distances, you name it, I'd come in with that Art of War instead, that concentrate, really helping to ensure that we land those hits on the breaks. It's really good stuff. So a ton of fun, great unit, an interesting flex unit that I was able to build there with Polish Valsian. And then coming in last but not least is Black Hat. Black Hat, oh man, it took a while to build up Black Hat. We actually recruited Black Hat mid playthrough, mid run. Make sure you go check that out. And when Black Hat joined, I was like, what do I do? Magic, okay, sure. We did it. And then I was like, man, I'm just not feeling it. I don't think it's hitting hard enough. It's not doing enough. Tactician mode's kind of brutal in that way. But in the end, Black Hat became ridiculous. Running Summon, Arithmetics, Secondary allows for so much versatility. Arithmetics, if you don't know, allow you to cast any and all spells that are known outside of summons. Of course, there's other exceptions too, but you know what I mean. Outside of summons. So when you summon, you have lots of versatility and options, huge AoEs, great things that are, you know, a unique buff there with Golem, you name it. And then you come in with arithmetics, and then you can cast all those other spells as long as you understand their arithmetics and how it works and calculating it. And then we had that reaction for Mana Shield, Magic Boost for the extra damage, and then Mana Font, of course, because we want to be able to replenish that MP and make sure that he stays topped off with that shield, which we do use MP to summon. We also casted a lot of arithmetic, but regardless, you get the point. You know, understand what I'm trying to say. Over here on the equipment, we ran that Wizard's Robe, and then we ran that Lambent Hat. Of course, you get the theme: magic attack, magic attack, magic attack, magic attack on everything, down to that Mage Power Glove, which put him at 17 magic attack. And let me tell you, Black Hat did a lot of things. Black Hat is right in there with For the Lulz. I wanted to have these two units all the time. In fact, there really isn't a fight I can't think of, really, where these two can't just kind of destroy everything. Those two, these two, you name it. They will wombo combo smack things together. Summoner Arithmetics is so good, so strong. You can raise allies instantly, same turn. It guarantee. Well, it's not a guarantee, but it's so good. It's so good. Arise, instacast, with the right arithmetics, all these things. It's so good. I'm just gonna repeat myself 20 times. But yeah, so that is it. Those are my generic characters that I used to beat the game. These, of course, Ramza is the exception, but he's kind of like the king generic character, right? Like, he doesn't have any unique things going on other than his, of course, elite squire abilities to shout and ultima and blah blah blah. Shout probably being one of the biggest. Steel's great, Tailwind is absolutely great, but shout is probably the most broken. Outside of that, he doesn't have any sword art skills or anything like that. So yeah, these are the units that got me through the game. These are also my soldiers that support me on Patreon, so huge shout out and thank you to them. And then, of course, For the Lulz, Polish, Valsian, and Black Hat, Kairos, just really big supporters of the channel, so I threw them into the mix as well. Thank you so much, everyone, for supporting. I hope you enjoyed the job combos. Make sure you check out the playthrough if you want to see them in action, or if you have any questions, hit it down below in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer anything that you have. Remember, these are not final form. These can be optimized better. This is how I beat the game, and this is what shape they were in once I had crossed that threshold. And let me just say, huge shout out and thank you to my soldiers. Thank you so much for supporting the cause. You guys and gals are the ones that keep the lights on and the content rolling. So if you're interested in becoming a soldier yourself and joining my army, make sure you check out the link to the Patreon down below. And you can also find a link for our Discord where we talk all things Final Fantasy and then some. Until next time, guys, I will catch you later. Bye.